Welcome everyone in social media land. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And of course, if you're watching this as a recording, honored to have you here. Grateful that you're here, that we have this medium to be able to share the message of what we offer at the school. So we are the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy. I am the founder and lead instructor, Matthew Brownstein. And I invite you to check out all of our credentials and whatnot at instituteofhypnotherapy.com. Let me not take your time with that, and let's go right into the topic, because those of you who are here watching this, you probably like trance, right? You like the idea of an altered state for yourself or for others. And the first thing to talk about with that, and we have a PowerPoint tonight, and we'll go through and cover a lot of material. This is not in-depth hypnotherapy training, but what it will be is a in-depth look at the induction itself. And I'll probably share with you more than I actually share in the Institute itself, because I know more since I founded this school. And also we're just going to spend a lot of time on one topic. Classes usually go for about an hour and a half or so. It's always my intention to have us go into hypnosis at some point. But let's start talking about hypnosis and the hypnotic induction, and to ask you, at what point, how will you know that you're being hypnotized? So what makes for the induction? What is an induction in hypnosis? So I believe our first slide is meant to just reference that. So what is an induction? Well, intention is more important than anything, right? So what is my intention for this class? What is your intention to induce or start anything? In hypnosis speak, we have something called hypnogenesis, the beginning of the hypnotic ritual. Okay, so when does it begin? When do I start hypnotizing you? Well, we have to understand all the subtle basics. What is hypnosis? What does it mean to hypnotize someone? And if you guys think you're really advanced in this, stick with me, because it's more advanced right now than you may think, right? Because if you know about an induction, you know it's about capturing your attention, right? Focus on my eye. Are you doing that now? Are you choosing the focus on my eye? You don't have to. Maybe I'll just focus on my voice. So what was that? It was a double bind. You're either going to focus here or you're going to focus on my voice. What am I doing when I'm starting to induce hypnosis? I'm capturing your attention as part of the formula. But before I even capture your attention, what's the essence of an induction? It starts actually with, I think I have a slide for this, but as I'm just letting the thoughts flow for you, it starts in many ways with rapport. So when we are interpersonal hypnotherapy, that's our brand. And a big focus of that is a relationship. When we hypnotize ourselves, we call it self-hypnosis. When I hypnotize you, or you hypnotize another person, we call that hetero-hypnosis. But everybody in the field understands that all hypnosis is really self-hypnosis. I can use fancy language patterns. I can be very creative with how I use this stuff in a conversational way to alter your state. However, it starts with the rapport and the integrity, because these are very powerful techniques. And once you learn how to pace someone through a hypnotic induction, you'll know how to do it without looking like you're actually hypnotizing someone, because you understand all the subtleties of the formula. And if you spent many years, I've been in this field now professionally for 25 years, I've been on this overall path, and as a spiritual teacher and guide and whatnot, about 30 years. I started teaching when I was 23 years old. So this has been my whole life, and to me, it's much more than hypnosis. Those of you who follow me regularly for the deeper spiritual teachings know that I'm actually using these techniques to guide people into the core of their being. And that's what I'm going to invite us to do tonight, because despite the simplicity of what the class looks like, I actually want to use hypnosis to empower you to the very depth of your being, so that tonight you walk away saying, wow, I, meaning you, am amazing. I am so capable and so powerful and so brilliant. You have a dharma, a purpose, a mission, right? Something you're meant to do on this planet that no one else can do. That involves knowing who you are And then knowing your audience, meaning knowing who you're there to serve, right? Anybody who's listening to this, if you're listening because you want to learn hypnosis to pick up women in bars, or even worse, I mean, that's okay. But even sort of depends on your intention, right? But if you're using these techniques to manipulate others, supposedly against their will, you're in the wrong place. But honestly, you will learn a lot of skill sets here. But really, it should be used with deep integrity, with very high values, because you can absolutely influence other people with these kind of teachings. So, use it well. It's a powerful tool. But what's so powerful about it? Your mind is what's so powerful about it. So tonight I want to guide you to the very core and powerhouse of your inner being, and understand how a hypnotic induction can just guide someone to the incredibly powerful self that they are. So interpersonal hypnotherapy is about a relationship. There's an I and there's a you, right? There's a self and there's another self. So there's a self, right? One self. I'm a self and you're a self. So I invite you, as you're listening to me now, to let go of the past. Your mind can think about a lot of things, right? Let's just take a conscious breath. Let go of the past. We call these Monday night classes our conscious community. And I know a lot of you are listening and watching the recording, and it's going to grow as YouTube grows, which is exciting, right? And get the message out there more and more. But those of you who attend this kind of as a community, please, we're going to open that up as much as possible. This is a new medium where we don't interact as much like we used to, but I'm sure there's ways we can grow more of a community online. With that intention said, it's about relationship with me, with you, right? I'm a self, you're a self. So if you release the past right now and just hallucinate it away, as we go into hypnosis tonight more and more, I'll be asking you to forget about the past. And I'll also, right now, literally right now, release the future. So there is no future. Just imagine it doesn't exist. How do you do that? You have to be here with me. You have to be fully present. So when I'm inducing hypnosis as the hypnotist or hypnotherapist or the facilitator, because you don't have to call yourself a hypnotist. You understand the principles. You can just call yourself Joe. I can just call myself Matthew and help you, because my intention is to help you, to empower you, to help you to live a self-actualized life. So let's just take a minute or more on what that means so that we know the intentions of why we're inducing hypnosis. Why are we getting in there? Why do we want to pierce the veil of your conscious mind and get into your subconscious? Well, because the mass of the iceberg is your subconscious. Your conscious mind is just the tip of the iceberg. If I'm going to help you to have radical, powerful change and experience a self-actualized life where you're whole and complete in every way possible, every way humanly possible, you got to get out of your own way, right? So, and you have to know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? So what is using hypnosis for self-actualization, and what is it for self-realization? And then we'll come back again to the idea of rapport and connecting with another person and how important the relationship is. Okay, so many directions to go. In the self-actualized model, we're using hypnosis to help you to achieve success in every aspect of your life. So that means you are spiritually fulfilled. What does that mean? Well, what does it mean to you, right? But generally, and I'm a religious scholar and philosopher, that is my background before Chinese medicine and the field of hypnotherapy, amongst other things I've done over the years. But it all started with philosophy. And it's pretty well generally accepted in these traditions that any path you follow, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, whatever you're doing, it's about essentially finding love, peace, joy, oneness, and bliss, and to relieve suffering. If your spiritual path doesn't relieve suffering, you might want to figure out a way that relieves suffering. Right? So the essence of any good religion, like Buddhism, is meant to relieve suffering. That's what Buddha was all about. He was about enlightenment, but why? Because he realized, hey, there's suffering. No matter how deep I go in meditation, there's still suffering. So how do I eliminate suffering? But when suffering is gone, what's left? Peace is what's left. So I'm inviting you tonight to use hypnosis with me and learn about hypnosis to find inner peace, right? So I wrote a book called Peace Under All Circumstances. It's available on YouTube for free. It's an audiobook called Peace Under All Circumstances. I don't ever claim to have mastered that teaching, but I can tell you, spending the majority of my day in perfect peace has become a reality. Every day, so for me, what does spiritual fulfillment mean? My insides, your insides, a person who's self-actualized, they're at peace. How they handle situations, I don't know, but right now, you can be at peace. You, right now, just by listening to my voice, can be at peace. Would you want me to hypnotize you? If I'm helping you to find peace, you probably would. When am I going to hypnotize you to find peace? I don't know. When will you take the suggestion to be here now, like radically in the moment, and be at peace? What else does it mean to be self-realized, self-actualized? Self-realized is to know who you are spiritually. You are peace, you are love. Your heart is meant to be open and full of love. If it's closed and blocked, our school has all these teachings to open and clear that. So imagine living with a fully open heart. No blockages anymore. No more repressed, suppressed hurt or fear or sadness or anger. No more conflict. A mind that is whole, rational, intelligent, yet kind and loving and compassionate. No more blocks. Really a return to wholeness is what this path is all about. It's not just to go into trance, to bliss out, and to program yourself to lose weight or whatever. It's about your whole life. So imagine being spiritually fulfilled, mentally, emotionally, very clear and healthy. Right? Your natural state, just brilliant and vibrant and intelligent and inspired and creative, because that's who you are. So this is using hypnosis very gently now, an invitation to be in this moment and to own that you're intelligent, that you're creative. Right? When are you going to let me program this into your mind? When do I pierce the veils of your conscious mind where you just accept that what I'm saying is true? You're a good person. You're a lovable person. Remember as a kid how much people loved you? You're still that. You're still lovable and wonderful. You're still likable. You're still worthy. You're still valuable. Some of you need to hear this, right? You can use hypnosis to transform the negative beliefs and emotions that people hold on to. Aside from that, you can use hypnosis to be very physically healthy. Now, we've gone really far in this school because of my background in Chinese medicine and in the mind-body aspects of hypnotherapy studies to understand how we can use the mind to heal the body. That's one of our taglines, healing the mind to heal the body. You can be at your ideal body weight. You can choose the BMI you want, your base mass, whatever BMI is. And you can choose, I know the number, whatever it means, and you can choose the body weight you want. And more importantly, you choose your self-image and how you want to look. And you can use your mind to turn yourself into that. It's not an ego trip. It's just realizing you have a body, right? So take good care of it. And what's wrong with making it look good, right? What's wrong with feeling more attractive and lovable and likable, right? People are drawn to people who have high confidence and high self-esteem, not who are full of themselves, right? But who are just secure in themselves, self-assured. So this is what I program my clients with hypnosis. Confident, self-assured, secure within yourself, high self-esteem. Okay, so when do you let suggestions go in? If they're beneficial, just let them go in. We have something in hypnosis speak called the critical factor. It's a part of your conscious mind that will reject suggestions. So when I induce hypnosis, I have to bypass the critical factor of your conscious mind. So if I say to you, like I just did, you are lovable, your critical factor will check with your subconscious in a millisecond. It'll say, are we lovable? He just said we're lovable. Are we lovable? The subconscious goes to its default mode. Well, mom and dad taught us that we're not lovable. The kids in school taught us we're not lovable. That girl or boy or whatever who broke up with you is not made you realize you're not lovable. Your husband who divorced you made you think you're not lovable, right? We have evidence to the contrary from a lifetime of negative programming and poor decision making, really, about who we really are. So if a hypnotist says to you, you're lovable, your critical factor of your conscious mind checks with the subconscious, says, am I lovable? Subconscious says, no, we're unlovable. And the suggestion gets rejected. So when we induce hypnosis, we have to understand we have to bypass the critical factor of the conscious mind to let good stuff go in there. So not only is my intention to teach you these principles, my intention is to right now, like remember, like right now moment, no past, no future, right now. Like let me be the object of focus. You're focusing on me. Right? I'm being the hypnotist. I'm showing you through rapport that I care about you, right? That I like you, that I will consider you a friend. Consider me a friend. How can we go wrong there, right? I'm a friend. So what am I doing there, actually? I'm building rapport, but I'm doing something else. I hope I'm building rapport. I'm showing you that I'm a good person who wants to help, right? And then you can feel safer with me. You can be more vulnerable with me. So it's not just a technique. It's being an authentically good person. But what else was I doing there? I'm creating a yes mindset. That's part of how we induce hypnosis. I'm teaching you covertly what I'm doing. I'm getting you to say yes in your mind because I'm saying it's good to be friendly, right? Yeah, it's good to be friendly. How could I go wrong? I mean, some people don't like that, right? The world is quite divided now about what we think is good. But I think anybody who'd be listening to this, in your heart, you know, being friendly, being nice, being kind is a good thing. So how do we induce hypnosis? Remember I said interpersonal hypnotherapy is about relationship. I am I, you are you. Sort of, because I'm a self and you're a self. It's like if my left hand says to my right hand, I'm a self, and it's like, I'm a self too. If my left hand is $100, but my right hand is sad, then my right hand doesn't understand that we're part of the same being, right? So in this self-realization model, the self-actualized model, you understand we're all one. We're all one being. We're all one consciousness. We all know this in some level, right? Yes, right? Yes, mindset. Yes, part of me knows that somehow we're all one. If it's that we're made out of stardust, we're all made of atoms. But a lot of us drawn to this field might use the word spirit, or at least consciousness, right? We're all conscious. We're all aware. So part of inducing hypnosis is to honor who you are, honor who I am. But who is that in our essence, which we'll go into tonight in hypnosis, formal hypnosis. We'll close our eyes. We'll take a journey deep inside. The essence of you that you'll find, and you can't debate it once you're there, you're conscious. You exist. You're aware. When I hallucinate your body away in hypnosis, I make it so you can't feel your body in hypnosis, but you're still there. I make it so you don't have any negative emotions when in hypnosis, and your heart is open and clear. There's nothing there. It's just clear. There's no memories. There's no intellect. What would it be like if you were empty? Can you do it right now? Like take a breath in, hold the breath, and don't think. Don't breathe. Don't think. All right, now exhale and breathe. Do you notice that the way to stop your mind is to stop your breathing? So with hypnosis, we can capture someone's attention, their consciousness. And that's what meditation is all about too. I'm bringing your attention right to the here and now. And I'm kind of gently taking some control of your breath. Right? Just breathe in, breathe out. So am I inducing hypnosis? If you're following my suggestion to breathe in and breathe out, then you're starting to accept suggestions. At any moment, you could say no. At any moment, you could reject suggestions. You're not under my control. You're not powerless. You're not helpless. You're not a victim. I'm here to reprogram that. You're not powerless. You're very powerful. You're not helpless. You're never without help, spiritually speaking. And you have people around you, including government services. You're not without help. And you can help yourself. You're not helpless. But I've spent a career reprogramming people's minds, hearing these horrible lies about themselves. But in this moment, who are you and who am I? You're conscious. I know that. That's the I am. But what do you put after that? I'm bad, I'm stupid, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I'll never amount to anything, there's not enough opportunity for me, there's not enough money, there's a recession, or maybe going to be one, but there's definitely inflation. Like, oh my God, who's saying all of that? Not someone who's empty inside. So take a breath and don't do that. It's your mind and you get to control it. I was a philosophy major and people are like, why are you doing that? I could have been a psychologist. Psychologists didn't study the great masters. They actually had a model of mental illness and understanding mental illness. I, as a philosopher and then as a religious scholar, started studying the great saints and sages of the world's wisdom traditions. They are whole and complete. They should be our role models for mental health, and that's what interpersonal hypnotherapy is. But as a philosopher, they're like, why are you doing that? I'm like, the only thing I know, because, I'm freaking in high school, what do I know? Somebody told me if you're a philosophy major, they actually might hire you at a corporation because you know how to think. I'm like, that seems like a valuable investment, like 19 years old or whatever, 18, whatever age you decide who you're going to be when you grow up. I'm like, I'm going to be a philosopher. I'm going to learn how to think. And then as I learned neuro-linguistic programming and then, of course, hypnotherapy, I learned that I can have control over my mind, not just the way a philosopher knows how to think, but the way a master knows how to structure his or her mental processes, because we have the technology to do that. So you use hypnosis to create a self-actualized way of being. And again, that's what Institute of Hypnotherapy is all about. So you can go to instituteofhypnotherapy.com, if you want to learn more about that. This is a career. It's a career that brings you to self-actualization, personal wholeness. So you're spiritually fulfilled, mentally, emotionally fulfilled. So yes, of course I'm promoting the school, but please make this a meditation. Think about it. You're spiritually fulfilled, conscious and peaceful and present. And you're just here and you're happy. That's part of the fulfillment. Mental, emotional health. Your mind is clear. Your heart is totally open and clear. No more blockages, no more suppressed anything. Total, empty, clear, but full of love and joy and peace. And then your body, healthy, in great shape, flexible, strong, relaxed, and just healthy, right? And sleeping well at night. You can use hypnosis for that. Exercise regularly and eat impeccably well. You can program that in. Honestly, I do every day. You could also program in your career and finances. You can just program in, I'm going to double my income, and your subconscious will make it happen. I calculated recently what I made in my first year of hypnotherapy practice in 1997. I now make 20 times as much. I'm not going to go into specific numbers. I just want to say, if you program in, you will have 7 lucrative income streams. You can work less and make more. You can be financially independent and financially free. In this profession, you can be your own boss. You don't have to work for someone else. You can wake up whenever you want to. You can make your own hours. You can keep charging more per hour at your own discretion as you get better at marketing yourself. But anyway, whatever your career path is, you can use hypnosis to thrive. Salespeople can make hundreds of thousands more. I can't, as a state licensed school, promise how much you can make in our school, but I can tell you for any career or profession, if you use our manifesting prosperity teachings, if you use our life mastery teachings, you can increase your income significantly. But for tonight's class, I'm inviting you to start visualizing it now. Open to it now. So when I'm inducing hypnosis, capturing your attention, I'm going to guide you inwards into your inner being. In that pure space of conscious potentiality and the plasma of your own soul, I'm going to start painting pictures of you healthy, wealthy, and wise. What is it? Happy, healthy, thin, and wealthy. Right? Start programming it in. Happy, healthy, thin, and wealthy. So what is the induction? It's beginning a ritual of getting you to take my suggestions, essentially, for your greatest good. Now, can you use it to manipulate people? Of course, but good people don't do that. I don't manipulate. I guide people to their greatness. I want to create more masters. I want to empower more leaders. I want to create more professionals that heal the world. So an induction is just the beginning of that. So when does it start? Well, it started at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight, but no, it starts the moment you're on the path. So there's no beginning really, and there's no end. But in hypnosis, we have a ritual, and it starts usually with the induction. Okay, so I'm painting the picture of self-actualization, and then I promise I'll go back into the induction. Also, a self-actualization beyond your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical health, career, and finances, your relationships. Only loving and harmonious. Program it in, make it so, only loving and harmonious. Right? So a significant other, only loving and harmonious. Your friends and family, only loving and harmonious. What do you do with the not harmonious ones? Just set the intention for only harmonious and watch how the disharmonious ones just drop away or they change. Because if they want to stay with you in your life, they're going to have to change, right? You only demand love and harmony, peaceful, kind, loving, friendly, good relationships. Like, you're on YouTube now. We're broadcasting to the world. Stop the drama, people. Only loving and harmonious relationships. Okay, and then what else can you put into your mind to make your life awesome? How about lots of free time and recreation? I spend about 6 hours a day in meditation. A monk at heart, I really am. I mean, I live in monasteries throughout my life, and we'll probably be back in another one someday. So I am a monk at heart, right? I just have a mission. So I'm in the world like a lot of you guys are. So we run onlinemonastery.com. You can go check out onlinemonastery.com if you want to get like the even deeper spiritual teachings that we offer here. But anyway, I have an abundance of time to meditate and to go hike in nature and to paraglide. I'm an avid paraglider, and to kayak. I do archery. I do tai chi. I do yoga. I have time to prepare, or with my partner, we prepare like super healthy meals. So, although she's the cook. But anyway, but that's part of my self-actualized life is I have someone who's wonderful who cooks for me. How beautiful is that, right? But it's a very harmonious relationship. Right? We share in responsibility. So that's beautiful. And then, of course, your family, your children, your friends, right? To have a life where everyone around you is just harmonious. And you have plenty of free time and recreation time to enjoy your life with them. How about an abundance of money for an abundance of travel and vacation? Right? Why not just program in? In the past, COVID put a damper on this, but I've been to Costa Rica, Peru, Colombia, Brazil, paragliding. I've been all around this country in almost all 50 states, like paragliding, running off of mountains. I'm sharing this just to say you can live, as Oprah people would say, your very best life, right? To live a life out loud, to live a life worth living, to have a life that's worth dreaming about, to look back and be like, wow, that rocked. Like, my God, that was awesome. I have a spiritual teacher. He said, at the end of life, when you're, figuratively speaking, when you're standing before God and she says to you, how was it down there? And you're like, kind of sucked down there. God's like, did you have fun? And you're like, I was supposed to have fun? Are you having fun? Are you programmed to still have fun? Or did you lose that at some point? Right? I'm not encouraging paragliding. It's super dangerous, but I love running off of mountains. I love kayaking down rivers. I love mountain biking down an awesome trail in Idaho. You can have an incredible life. Also, what about a wonderful home, like your dream home? Why not? Why not manifest your dream home? And wonderful, awesome cars. I'm a lover of cars, although they're not good for the environment, so I honestly don't drive much anymore. But, why not? Why not a nice? All right, so get environmentally friendly, but enjoy a nice vehicle, absolutely, or two, or more than one home, right? So that's a big part of it. The other thing in life mastery, and my wonderful assistant here might post something about our life mastery course in the comments or however that goes, because life mastery is about success in all of these categories. We have a course for that. You don't have to go through the entire school's hypnotherapy training to learn how to get life mastery. Okay, anyway. Aside from using this to let you know what we're all about, let's go back to hypnosis, back to the induction, and back to the idea of using hypnosis to access the subconscious to create an awesome life. Now, as I painted the picture of all those categories, I hope you are doing that in your mind. If you're listening, you must be, but I want you to listen with all of your mind. For me to induce hypnosis in you, I need to capture your attention. I hope I'm holding your attention, and if I say, now focus right here, focus on my right eye. Focus here as if nothing else matters. Now it looks like I'm starting to induce hypnosis in you. My colleague here helping behind the scenes says, oh my God, I just hear Matthew behind me and I'll fall into trance. You get conditioned to someone's voice. So when I'm inducing hypnosis, and as you're learning about this, or refining your skills, your hypno voice. So if I want you to go into hypnosis now, if I want to put a person into trance now, I probably should speak a little bit differently. Why? Because I can fractionate. So fractionation is we put someone in hypnosis and then we bring them back out. We put them in deeper, we bring them out. We put them in deeper, deeper, we bring them out. And I always tell our students when we teach fractionation, it's more advanced than you think. It's not just, I'm going to bring you out of hypnosis, do another induction, and you go even deeper next time. We can use it conversationally, like I'm doing now. I say, focus right here, but then I come out. I say, we can go to the hypno voice, but then we can come out. I'm bringing you in and bringing you out in a sequence, in a process from like here, where regular waking consciousness, down to here, deep delta wave brain activity, which essentially is a place where your body and mind are totally relaxed, if that's how you choose to go there, but relaxation is a nice way, right? Imagine right now, you have to be formally hypnotized, or can you just, make your body so incredibly relaxed? And then breathe and keep relaxing your mind. You know, when you listen to someone, when you're in hypnosis, don't talk to me, listen to me. You know how to listen, right? Like listen. In the present moment, do the thing called listen. And then do the thing called relax. There's the induction secret. Capture someone's attention, get them to be responsive to you, and then give them a suggestion of what to do, or do it to yourself. Tell yourself right now, open my heart and relax. Soften my shoulders and feel good right now. Why are you not feeling good right now? Well, whatever it is that doesn't feel good, we can take a breath in and we can choose to let it go. So what do we know about an induction so far? It requires rapport. You should trust the facilitator. It requires capturing someone's attention. We can have a yes mindset involved. So before I do the formal induction, look in my eye, I'm actually building rapport with you, and I'm also going to educate you. Before I induce hypnosis, let me tell you a little story. I was living in this farm community, and when I met everybody for the first time, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a hypnotherapist. And I'm like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah. And I told them a bit about my spiel, a little bit of marketing there too, right? And then they said, can you hypnotize someone here? And my confidence, and I have lots of teachers, but my most influential teacher over the years has been the late, great Mr. Gil Boyne. Gil taught us this attitude of, yes, I can. Can you hypnotize someone? Yes, I can. So I just did it. I said, yes, I can. But I was actually very new, and I just hypnotized the woman right away. When I got to the point of testing to see if she was hypnotized, but she couldn't open her eyes, the technique called eye catalepsy, she opened her eyes. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Look, I guess I didn't hypnotize her. And then I had to review, what did I do wrong? I didn't take the time to build rapport with her and with my audience. I didn't take the time to tout my credentials without being egoic, right? Tonight I've been telling you about my background. I'm doing that to build your belief in me, not as an ego trip. If I want to help you, I have to be credible. I have to be confident. I have to be reliable. I have to appear educated. That's why there's books behind me, right? But if I lose rapport with you because you realize this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, there's no mastery here. This isn't 30 years of experience. This is a kid who just read this the other day. No, this is someone who's done it for 30 years. By you knowing that my major influential person who mentored and trained me and helped me to open the state license school was Mr. Gil Boyne. Not my only teacher, but so influential in who we are today as a state licensed hypnotherapy school. By you knowing that, it helps you to go into hypnosis with me. So when you guys are giving public lectures on hypnosis, or when you're going to do a group demonstration hypnosis, or you're going to hypnotize a family member or a client, they need to believe in you. You need to believe in you, but you have to be careful about doing it egoically, right, which people will sense, or just being confident in who you are. Your client will pick up on that. Like when we do a standing induction, I say, look at me and sleep. Did it work? How many heads hit the counter? So we can talk about, what's happening there when we say, look at me and sleep. What does that word sleep do? How do I capture your attention in that moment? But before I scream, which is one way to induce trance, sleep, or snap my fingers. Like try this for a moment. Drop. Deeper. Let go. be here now. So I'm capturing your attention. But before I start all of that stuff, it's really important that you trust me, that you believe in me, that I have rapport with you. So if you're giving a lecture as a hypnotherapist, be sure you build rapport with your audience. I also was saying you need to educate your audience before an induction. What's expected? We have slides for all this stuff, but I'm just kind of lumping it all in here. All right, so a little bit more. So it says on the screen, what are the basics of an induction? So it's this type of stuff. It's the yes mindset, getting a person saying yes before you actually do sleep or whatever the actual induction is. You must build rapport and educate them of what's expected. So we teach that part of how you induce hypnosis is you build expectation, positive expectancy of what you want to be realized. So if I want you to fall right to the floor with complete loss of equilibrium when I say sleep and the standing person drops, which is unsafe, right? That could be what's expected. So I'd have to actually show someone that. So to understand that, there's a term when Franz Anton Mesmer, one of the earliest hypnotists, or before we had the word hypnosis, but kind of the founder of this whole movement in a sense, when Mesmer was doing all his stuff, there was a scientific delegation to investigate him. Ben Franklin was part of that, and Joseph Guillotine was part of that. It was back in France and Paris or whatever. But when Ben Franklin and those guys concluded that Mesmer is not really healing the way he thinks he is, he's doing something, but it's not what he thinks, they concluded he's doing four things. If I can remember all them, but the one I was referring to now definitely is imitation was occurring. So Ben Franklin concluded Mesmer is healing through the power of belief, suggestion, imagination, and imitation. Belief? Belief in what? Belief that you're going to be healed if you have a session with Mesmer, right? Because he had a great reputation. Well, not a great reputation, but he had a reputation. When he went from Vienna to Paris, they knew about him already. King Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette, it's an awesome history. They knew about him. And when he went there, everybody was like, I want a session with him. If you're going to be a successful hypnotherapist, you have to walk the talk. You have to be kind of impressive. You have to be respectable. You have to show you have good credentials. You have to dress well. There's a formula for success in our field, and we teach it in our school. But it's all by dissecting these masters. And Mesmer kind of was one of those. He was healing through the power of belief. People believed in him. Belief is more complicated than just believing in the hypnotherapist or the hypnotist or the mesmerist, but that's part of the formula. The other is suggestion. Mesmer was basically saying, when you touch hands, the magnetic fluid flows through you, you will be healed. There was no magnetic fluid, according to Ben Franklin and those guys. They were just saying, it's the power of suggestion. Modern hypnotherapy says, yes, that's what it is. I'm not against energy and all that. I think it's there. But the power of suggestion works too. Also, we have belief, suggestion, imagination. That Mesmer is healing through the power of imagination. So as I ask you, imagine your dream home. Imagine you at your ideal body weight. Imagine you making 20 times as much money as you do now, or at least twice as much as you do now, right? If you are willing to entertain those images, we're doing something in your mind through imagery, which will encapsulate tonight when we close with the meditation, by having all that imagery there for you to create a rockin' inner world. All right. Aside from that, Mesmer is healing through the power of imitation. So belief, suggestion, imagination, and imitation. So what is imitation? Well, Mesmer was healing groups of people. They were all coming into these rooms or under these magnetized trees. Again, fascinating history, but groups of people coming together. Now, when you walk up to a group like faith healing and people are shaking and falling down on the spirit, they're having catharsis, they're laughing, they're crying, they're vomiting, they're throwing away their crutches. This is what was happening with Mesmer. This is how our movement, hypnotherapy, started, with Franz Anton Mesmer doing that kind of stuff and his students doing that kind of stuff. The people who saw that knew what to expect. Just like a faith healer, if he touches you on the head, you're going to fall out slain in the spirit. That formula of faith healing is pretty much exactly what we do in hypnosis if you dissect what they're doing. The only thing that we don't really do is use overtly religious overtones. But I can absolutely get you slain in the spirit if you want to be, right? And you can choose to do it now. You can choose to be fully immersed in spirit now. because it's your mind, it's your choice in the moment. All right, with all that said, let's go through our slides, then we'll get to meditation. So I mentioned rapport. So simply, succinctly, on the rapport slide, don't try to induce hypnosis if you don't have rapport, and if you haven't educated people first. So if I did better at that time on the farm where the woman didn't go into hypnosis, I would have spent more time talking with them. I would have said, okay, I'd be happy to hypnotize you guys, but tell me about you first. Right? Like, I just met you. Who are you? I'm showing I'm interested in them. And then I can talk a little bit more about me, but I'm acknowledging a relationship. I could say, well, who are you? Right? Oh, nice to meet you, self. And well, here's who I am. Can we be friends? We call this in hypnosis the fundamental agreement. It has rapport embedded in it, but it also has, I am the hypnotherapist or the hypnotist or just the facilitator, whatever you want to call yourself, but we kind of need to call ourselves hypnotists or hypnotherapists to make this really work, right? I have some training, some skill, not some special power, but some skill that will get you into an altered state. So I'm that person. Now you, in this relationship, are the client or not the patient, the client or the participant. They used to call it like the subject and the object, or like you're the subject. But that deals with the model that's pejorative. Like the more powerful person will hypnotize the weaker person. That's not how it works. It's a model of equality here. It's interpersonal hypnotherapy. We're all equals. So interpersonal hypnotherapists, or just very well-trained hypnotherapists, have skill sets that will help to induce hypnosis. But they have to remember these subtleties, building rapport, educating the group. So what would I educate this group about? Something to imitate, right? So you can do what are called responsiveness exercises with a group, or used to be called susceptibility tests with the group. It's testing to see how the people respond and which one is the most responsive. I should have done that with that woman, right? I should have seen, is she even responsive to hypnosis before I attempt to hypnotize her? So it would have been better to actually build rapport with the whole group, find out who's the most hypnotizable, and then choose that person. I knew that from Gil Boyne clearly, but did I actually do it then? No. So mastery is to do everything that you learned in school. And that can take 10, 20, 30 years before you really master. I mean, at least 10 years before you really master something. Okay, so educate your people. Tell them what's expected of them. Try to show them what's expected of them. If someone else was demonstrated on, the next person might do a lot better. You might also ask the people you're working with, has anybody been hypnotized before? Why? Because that person has reasonable evidence already of what's expected of them. They know what to imitate. They know when someone says sleep, you're supposed to do something like close your eyes and go deep, relax, let go, instead of what? Right? If you got to say induce hypnosis and say sleep, and your client goes, what? Like, what do you mean sleep? How could I sleep? Then you didn't prepare them properly. Shouldn't they know what the word sleep means? Right? Why do we use the word sleep? Why am I doing that kind of stuff? You don't have to do that kind of stuff. If you understand all the principles, you could do it very covert, very gentle, and very maternal. The quintessential, like the essence of the maternal and indirect, not even so maternal, but clearly not paternal. The more maternal indirect style is really exemplified so beautifully, although boringly, in Milton Erickson. Milton Erickson was known as a really great hypnotherapist, medical doctor and hypnotherapist. And I believe he was a medical doctor or psychiatrist, but he was definitely a hypnotherapist, but he had medical credentials. Erickson was brilliant, genius. And when you listen to his language patterns, they're very hard to discern. And I believe what Erickson did, he learned classical hypnosis. He learned all the basics, but he was so brilliant and had done it for so many years that when you saw him in his later years, the words were just, you could dissect every word and realize there's a technique in every single sentence or every mannerism. So what about the power of the pause? Do I need to say, sleep? Or can I just stop talking? What captures your attention more? So the point is I'm actually capturing your attention. All right, next slide. Belief we talked about. Melissa, just elaborate a little bit more, because it's not only that you believe in me or the client believes in the hypnotherapist. I need to believe in myself. I need to believe in my client. I need to believe in my client. I need to believe meaning I need to know you're going into hypnosis. When I hypnotize you, you're going into hypnosis. I don't have any doubt that if I give you a suggestion for your greatest good, you're going to take it. Why? Because you want to. Why? Because I'm only offering good suggestions. So I believe you're capable of accepting my suggestions. I know they're good and only beneficial suggestions, and I know you're capable of following orders, of obeying, of being compliant, if you find it's in your best interest. Now, those of us, or not us, people who are really alpha, real leaders, type A personalities, very in their head, but this is only one kind of person, but any of these characteristics sometimes make you not quite as responsive to hypnosis because you're a leader, you're not going to follow, right? You're more dominant in your personality, you're not going to submit to someone else telling you what to do. Hypnosis doesn't take away your power or your strength or your alpha male qualities or whatever else, people might hold on to about their strength, their yang qualities, right? So we're just talking about yang energy, masculine energy. It's great, right? Like we have yin and yang, and they're both awesome. But when you're being hypnotized, you're being more yin, more receptive, more responsive, yielding, willing to take suggestions. Why? Because they're for your greatest good. So it's not about are you yang or yin, male or female. Are you wise enough to take positive suggestions for your greatest good? I mean, how can my message be not desirable for everybody, right? Life mastery, success in every category of your life, make more money, be healthier, be in a relationship with your soulmate or whatever you call that person. Everybody would want that. So what are we doing when we're building belief here? I'm saying I have it. I'm being a role model for it. I'm not hopefully over-touting it, but I'm letting you know it's possible to feel fully self-actualized. And then can we use hypnosis to get there? Yes. Do you believe it's possible? Yes. Do I believe you can do it? Yes. So what do we want to believe in? Ourselves, our clients, and the techniques we're using. Every technique I'm mentioning, the Untitled Meditation System and onlinemonastery.com and the Institute and the NLP trainings we offer, I believe in all of it. It all works. I use it every day, like all the time. It makes your life awesome. So do you believe that? If it's a yes, then we can move towards inducing hypnosis. If it's a no, you can click off of YouTube, right? But if it's a yes, you might as well stay in the journey and follow the path, because I'm only here to illuminate your mind to your greatness. So why not? Expectation, we talked about on the next slide. Expectation. Basically, what's expected tends to be realized. So what's expected of you tonight? I hope to feel good, to relax, to find your core, to find out who you really are in your essence, and to co-create a beautiful life from that space. But you can chunk down if you want, meaning when we go into hypnosis, you can focus on all of it. It's a lot, right? Like every category of your life is a lot. Why not just focus on one thing? I have a very powerful creating and manifesting formula taught in our school and whatnot. And you really will just pull whatever you want into your life. And it's just unbelievable how it works. And a lot of you know, law of attraction, all that stuff. But there's a very clear formula. It's very unique. And it just works. So you can put a lot of things into it, which is like a regular practice, or you can put one thing into it tonight. So maybe tonight you're going to say, I'm going to be at my ideal body weight by a certain date, right? Or I'm going to start exercising tomorrow better than I ever have before. I'm going to get on the meditation cushion, finally, right? I'm going to do it. You might pick one goal tonight, or you might pick a bunch of things. I will do my best to cater to both, which leads to the idea in hypnosis of, are you going to be more specific or more general? If you're inducing hypnosis for an audience, you're going to probably need to be more general. If you're too specific in your language patterns, people can be turned off. But if you're more general, like you can feel good, right? But if I say you can be illuminated in Christ consciousness, I'll keep some of you around here when I say that, but others, if I'm talking only that way, I might lose. So I feel being more universal is more approachable for larger audiences. But when you're working with your client, the induction style, the way you're talking, will be more specific in their model. You need to build rapport in their model. So if they are a Christian and they're talking about their belief in Christ, you're better off playing in, not just playing into it, but deeply respecting it and, honoring that's their model of the world. And so we pace their reality. In NLP, we talk about pacing and leading. First, we build rapport and pace them, then we can lead them. So being more specific for individuals and more general in groups. But you could also be more general with an individual. For instance, I might say this to you. By the time tonight is done, you'll notice something wonderful has changed in you. You'll notice something is different than it was. You'll notice that something is really improving. What is that something? I don't know, but you've already done what we call a transderivational search, where you looked in your subconscious into yourself and you said, what's going to change? Well, I sure would like to lose weight or sleep better at night. You already decided what that is when I said something positive can change. So that has what we call an NOP, lack of referential index, intentionally put in there. Something will change. So there's all these fancy techniques, and we can induce hypnosis where it doesn't even look like we're inducing hypnosis the more you understand this stuff. Another thing in the next slide, before we get towards the meditation, is to excite the imagination. To excite the imagination, we want to paint pictures of where they're going, why you want to go into hypnosis. There's always a little fear about hypnosis for people, right? That's why we educate before we induce trance. We help them to know you're safe, it's going to be a good thing, and excite the imagination. What if we could use hypnosis for you to have the most amazing life you can imagine? What if we use hypnosis for you to have a career where you're making over $100,000 or whatever? Like, you can use your mind to get what you want. In A Course in Miracles, it says, the only requirement for a true teacher is to increase motivation. I hope by my painting an awesome picture of what life can be like, despite what we see out there, right? There's a horrible time on the planet. There's atrocities beyond what, any of us thought we might even ever experience. And yet here's somebody saying you could be totally at peace. You could be completely happy. I'm not saying I would be if I lived in Ukraine right now. However, those who are fortunate or blessed or lucky enough to not be in these horrible places like the United States, we are very blessed, right? And this is just a message. I know my audience. It's a message for the able to become more able. I'm sorry for those who aren't able to go as deep as we go here. We have compassion for those who aren't there. However, my audience, I know, is I help the able to become more able. So if you're able to go to school, if you're able to think, if you're able to read, if you're able to invest money to create something wonderful, then you're able enough to become more able. So I'm exciting your imagination to say wherever you're at, and I honor wherever you're at, whatever spiritual path you're on, and everything about you, your gender, your sexuality, you're awesome just as you are. Like, you're lovable and perfect. I accept you just as you are, whoever you are. And now I just want to bless you and help you to make it even better. Right? So if you ever say to your partner, this is great, what would be even better? Just be sure you said this is great first. Don't say, this is great, but, right? You're awesome, but. Say, this is awesome, and what would be even better? In our school, we teach core transformation. So right now, you could use the metaphor of core transformation, which is, what would be even better? Or, what is your highest intention? So what is your highest intention for tonight's meditation? More peace, more joy, self-realization, more money, great sex. We didn't talk about that because, we don't want to get too into that on YouTube, but, or in our school. But really, like, why not use hypnosis? I'll talk about it briefly because people like that. You can use hypnosis to improve every aspect of your life. Yes, including your sexuality. Absolutely. If you think I don't use my mind to have the most incredible pleasure in my body, then you're out of your mind. I know how to use my mind, and we'll go too into it. I'm probably going to even blush a little, but I can tell you, I live in ecstasy most of the time. I'm a monk. I have spent years in monasteries and ashrams and in the Himalayas. I know how to feel bliss inside, and I'm a tantric practitioner, so I know how to integrate the sexual energy into the whole of my being. If you go to onlinemonastery.com, I do go into some of those teachings there. You can literally live with the most sublime ecstasy in your system as you learn how to utilize your sexuality in very deep ways and in very beautiful, beautiful but powerful and just amazing ways, because it's your mind. So, have you ever noticed, if you have a sexual thought, what happens? If you think a sexual thought that's arousing, don't you have an instant physiological response? Your mind clearly influences your body. Your mind can give you orgasms without being touched. You could ejaculate without using physical touch. That's how powerful your mind is. All right, and I don't teach this stuff in the school, but I can tell you, you can use your mind to make everything phenomenal. So let's just talk money for a moment. What's the difference between a rich person and a poor person, or a person who has a lot of money and keeps accumulating wealth, and a person who keeps losing money? Like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggle in debt. Right? What does it mean to be in the top 5% or in the top 1%? Right? I think top 5% now is like over $200,000 per year. If you make over $200,000 per year, you're in the top 5%. You can be totally possible, right, to be making that kind of money. And then there's like over 1 million millionaires are making like over or have like net worth over like $1 million per year. So there's only like 1% of the world. You can Google it. That makes that much money. You can just program yourself to be in that category, not because you want to be some pompous rich person. You never let yourself be what you resent. If you want to be in that higher percentage of very successful people, you can use your mind to do so, but just leave out the stuff you don't like. Don't rob yourself of wealth because you resent wealthy people. It's one of the biggest traps, right? You'll never let yourself be what you resent. So if you're going to program in and make more money, and we teach us in the school how to do it, you have to retrain your subconscious mind to allow wealth into your life. You don't have to be a billionaire, right? I'm not striving for billions, but here's the real secret before we go into meditation. Whatever you want, give it away. I don't want money directly. I want to liberate humanity from suffering. I want to have a message that people say yes to and that it heals the world. So the way you make a lot of money in hypnotherapy is see 25 clients a week. And you can charge. I'm not telling you you will or you're capable of it. I can't promise anything. I mean, you are capable of it, but the Department of Education will not let me tell you how much you can make in hypnotherapy. But please do the math. You can do 25 clients a week. I did that for many years. I promise it's humanly possible. I've done like 30 a week, but that's a lot. Most of our graduates do 15 a week. Multiply that by even $100 and see how much you'll make every week. That's $2,500 a week. But you can do more than that once you're really solid in the profession. You can charge $200 for a session. We definitely have graduates who do that. That's $5,000 a week. That's $20,000 a month. We have graduates who have done that, who do that. You know, if just even one shows that you can do it. We definitely have graduates who do that. So I'm not saying you'll make $200,000 a year when you graduate our school, but eventually seeing clients can get you that kind of money. And like, how awesome is that? But in wealth building, you have to be sure your subconscious is not going to say, oh no, wealthy people are bad people. Be a good wealthy person. And wealth can just mean, you know, $100,000 a year, whatever that is for you. But honestly, if you're ready, like $100,000 is not a lot of money. Good, put another zero on the end of it, right? If you're doing $1 million per year, good, go for 10 to 10 million. Who cares? The channeled entity Lazarus, he said, yes, the whole world is an illusion. And he said, money is an illusion. Money is an illusion, right? So I have as much of it as you want. So I was saying before, you can program in all your needs are met, program in all your wants are met, program in all your savings are met. You know, retire with millions of dollars. It's scary with inflation to not have a lot of money when you're 65 years old. Set the intention that there'll be $2 million or more in the bank at that time. You know, start saving, whatever, but program your subconscious mind to start saving. Here's a prosperity principle for those who want it. 10% of all I earn is mine to keep. 10% of all I earn is mine to keep. If you make $100, put $10 away for you first before anything else. That will grow over time, and you can reinvest it in creating another income stream. I encourage people to create 7 lucrative income streams. Don't just work for somebody necessarily. Create 7 very lucrative income streams, so even if one dries up, the others keep flowing, and then know how to create income streams. So if one dries up, create another income stream. There's always ways to do it. And if you have a dharma, a purpose, a mission, there's something you can do that no one else can do. And that's the greatest way you can promote yourself as a hypnotherapist to successfully induce trance. You want to brand yourself. You're the product, right? It was always like Matthew Brownstein hypnotherapy. It wasn't just Zinger's hypnotherapy. I don't want to pick any one of my graduates and their names of their businesses, so I don't think anybody uses Zinger hypnotherapy. If you are, I respect you too. But what is that? What is Zinger? It's They want to know who you are. Remember, it's about rapport. So a lot of our graduates, and I'm not mentioning any names or websites tonight, but you will see it's like first and last name hypnosis.com, first and last name hypnotherapy.com, because who's the person? And our successful graduates are the people who have devoted to self-actualizing themselves, to be role models for others, to be masters and leaders in their own right. It's part of my mission to help people to be true masters. I don't want to claim to be one. I don't need that, but I know any true teacher wants their teachers or their students to go beyond them. So if you want it, give it away. If you want to be doing over 100,000 per year in the hypnotherapy field, see 25 clients a week and don't think about the money anymore. Devote your life to healing 25 people a week. We've had over 1,000 people go through our school right now. If all of them only see 5 clients a week, that's 5,000 hypnotherapy sessions that happen a week because of what we do. That's a blanket effect healing the world, right? So just one person can create a movement of healing that creates the world. Everybody is that one person. In Course in Miracles, it says how many teachers of God are needed to heal the world. He says 1, dear teacher, 1. However, it says, like lovingly, but you don't understand that yet. Why would it only take one person to heal the world? You're that one person. And if you're not doing your dharma, if you're not getting out there, if you're not being a bodhisattva, if you know what that word means, if you're not doing your mission here, then most likely you're suffering and you're probably lacking. If you don't have all the money you want, you're probably not doing what you came here to do. Quick story, then we'll finish the PowerPoint and go into meditation, hypnosis. I'll induce formal hypnosis with you guys, and maybe you'll see where some of the techniques are. A man was sent by a king to another country to perform one task. King sent the man to another country to perform one task. The man goes to the other country, performs lots of tasks, builds hospitals and mosques and churches and everything that he could think of that was great in the king's name. He comes back, he says, "Oh, great king, I built mosques and monasteries and churches and hospitals." And the king said, "But did you do what I asked you to do?" "Well, no, but I did all this great stuff and I did it in your name." He said, "Your trip was wasted. Go back and do it again." So those of you who believe in reincarnation, we get it right this time. Simply stated, the most kindergarten view of reincarnation: get it right or you come back. But, to me, that just means I have a chance to live a self-actualized life in this life. I have a chance to help heal the world in this life. It could be the end of humanity. Global warming, nuclear war. We're, the next 100 years with climate change, we're in a very interesting time right now. If there's any hope, Teilhard de Chardin, great, what was he, priest, metaphysician, healer, I don't know his exact credentials, but Teilhard de Chardin, he said, the human race will have to choose between suicide or adoration. We will have to fall in love with each other and help to heal each other, adore each other for the divine beings we are, or we're going to kill ourselves. So the only problem is the mind. The only thing that has to be healed is the mind. That's why I do hypnotherapy and not Chinese medicine or religion or philosophy as a academician, if that's the right word, academic. I realize you have to heal the mind. So an induction is actually a gateway to healing the world if you're using it with the right intentions. If you understand that all of these relationships are sacred, and that's what interpersonal hypnotherapy is all about, then you're part of a movement in your own way, as your own calling, with the own way that you use these techniques. Like, you don't have to be like a mini me. You have to be your greatest self, utilizing whatever I can share with you. And if you're still listening, then, I have something valuable to offer, but you have something valuable to offer. Our upcoming conference, to plug that before we get into the meditation, you can go to interpersonalhypnotherapy.com or instituteofhypnotherapy.com and look for our conference. It's open to the public. It's recorded. If you don't make it, you can watch it afterwards. 30 hours, continuing education in the field of hypnotherapy with a lot of amazing presenters, and I'll be there guiding meditations. But the theme, so please check it out at interpersonalhypnotherapy.com. The theme is synthesis. So before we go into meditation, what is synthesis and why is our conference, since 2020 when we postponed it because of COVID, but now it's online so anybody can attend safely. It's going to be extremely powerful, 3 days together. We're going to have all the presenters, including myself, and I'll talk about 3 different times, including an evening session where we go into very deep meditation together. During the conference, the idea is to synthesize everything. So think about who you are right now. I don't know who you are, but here's an example. You're a woman. You're a mother. You may or may not be married. It doesn't matter. You have made money. You have a career, right? You're essentially, you have stuff about you. You might be already into yoga or Reiki. You might be a massage therapist. You might know something about nutrition. You might spend some time studying linguistics in college. I don't know, but you've got your background, right? Like if you're a physical therapist. So what are your credentials? The point is you have all these pockets of training in your mind. So do I, and so does every presenter at our conference. Synthesis is something that a liberated mind automatically does. It'll take 2 ideas and it'll lump into something bigger. If you study sacred geometry, I'm the author of the Sacred Geometry and Meditation, and you can learn all about that at onlinemonastery.com. In sacred geometry, you have a point. That's where all geometry starts, with a point. But once you have a point, you can get another point. But now you got a line. 1 point, 1 point, now we have a line. The idea of a point gave us the idea of, well, why not another point? Now we got a whole line. Consciousness will synthesize things. So here's what I did in my mind, and then I hope you'll do it for you. I'm only talking about me for your sake. I was a philosophy major, and I was a religion major. I studied Chinese medicine. I lived at a Zen monastery. I spent a lot of time in another Zen center. I studied Chinese medicine in another school. I studied hypnotherapy. I studied neurolinguistic programming. I studied breath work. I studied yoga and still practice yoga. I studied and practiced Tai Chi and Qigong. I know massage, like professional level through Chinese medical school with Shiatsu and Tui Na. I know herbology. So all of that, I know a lot of anatomy, physiology. All of that is synthesized into Anahat Education Group, which is who we are, and all of the branches of this corporation, this company, this school. Right? And everything that we're growing into, we keep growing. So we're synthesizing all of my stuff, all of our teachers' stuff, because it's not only me anymore at all. And then with this mighty team of practitioners, actually, we keep pulling in more awesome minds that grow. A Course in Miracles says, when you're ready to do your mission, you don't go alone, you go with mighty companions by your side. And I'm mentioning all these great people in our team tonight, but I can tell you, it's not only Matthew Brownstein here. There are amazing people who are your teachers in this institute, and we're here to liberate your heart and liberate your mind. How awesome is that? And everybody makes, I can't say everybody, but, we make good money doing that, and we help the world doing that, and we're inspired and passionate. We want to get up in the morning. There's purpose and meaning, and people want to be part of something like that. So this is an invitation for that, for you to synthesize whatever's in your mind tonight into something greater, right? If you're a massage therapist, how would hypnotherapy synthesize with that as an adjunct to your practice? If you're a Reiki practitioner, how could you start using the power of hypnosis to help your people? If you're a dentist, how could you use language patterns? We've had dentists, doctors, PsyDs, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, licensed mental health counselors, acupuncturists, chiropractors, massage therapists, Reiki people, life coaches, have all gone through this school because it synthesizes so beautifully. So tonight, if you focus on the big picture in our meditation, let it all synthesize into something greater. Because once we have a line, well, now we can get a triangle. Now we have a triangle, we can get a 6-pointed star. And if you look on the screen, you'll notice a 6-pointed star. That symbol is Anahat Chakra. It's the essence of the work we do here. And again, you can learn all about that at onlinemonastery.com. So there's some deep teachings behind all of this. It's not just basic hypnosis, but you can use basic hypnosis to really influence people in positive ways. Okay, next. After we do the meditation, I'll open it up to question and answer. I just think on YouTube it works a lot better to just make the video, get it out there. But then at the end, please have your questions ready, because when I say, okay, question and answer time, at that point, please post it into the chat pod. If you're typing it, I might be like, okay, class done, because we're recording and I don't want lag time. So be ready with questions after the meditation. Fixation, next slide. When I say focus on my eye, when I say focus on my voice, I'm capturing your attention. I can change my voice. I can modulate it. I can roll it. I can elongate it. I can pause it. just be conscious that you can change tone and pitch and tempo. And when you change qualities of your voice, it can shift a person. But if you have them focus on your voice, that's a powerful form of fixation. So it could be visual fixation. Look at my eye. Look at the swinging pendulum. Look at the swirling disc. Look at a spot on the ceiling. Close your eyes and imagine a little point of light in your forehead. Whatever you're focusing on, you just need to focus on something in almost every style of induction. Even the covert ones are still capturing the person's attention, because we really want all of you participating, not only your subconscious. Hypnosis involves your conscious mind participates and your subconscious. All of your mind needs to participate. You can't say, well, if I'm asleep, will this stuff work? No. Sorry, but no. You can't listen to hypnotic programming at night and wake up a millionaire or wake up losing weight. It barely works. Not that it doesn't work. It vibrates your eardrums, your subconscious hears something, but really, you can listen to programming all night, but I'm telling you, the best way to do it is once or twice a day, listen to a hypnotic programming recording. I'm going to offer a gift before we go any further here with just brief screen share. Here's my... Okay, and probably that, but that didn't work. I'm new with this software. How do we do that? I don't know how to do that. But anyway, if you go to YouTube, maybe it's working now. If you go to YouTube, you will see our Interpersonal Hypnotherapy channel. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to be one of those people who say that now. But I just put this online. Hypnosis for integrating the psyche into wholeness. If you're not seeing it, just please go to YouTube, check out Integrating the Psyche into Wholeness. I just put it there 2 days ago. We don't have millions of followers yet. But I'm telling you, this meditation will heal your mind over time. It'll take your negative parent state, your negative or your inner child state who might be wounded, and your adult state. It'll integrate that into wholeness. And for those of you who are really pretty close to wholeness, it's going to synthesize all of you. And I did it for someone else, and then I listened to it again today. I'm like, wow, honestly, don't miss that. It's such, and I just put it on YouTube for free. Okay, so hypnosis for integrating the psyche into wholeness. While we're here, before I go back, this is our website, instituteofhypnotherapy.com. 8 days left for our next training. So if you're hearing this now and you think, I want to be part of this, there's still seats available online or in Tampa or in Orlando, Florida. And you are more than welcome to join us. You can start the training for free. And the beginning of the training is for free on YouTube now. You can actually watch the first 4.5 hours starting here on YouTube as well. So you can literally start our training completely for free. If you want to get on a mailing list to get in the loop, then you can do it on the website. But you can literally start our training now on YouTube. So that's exciting. But anyway, lots of great free meditations. There's also one other, this one, hypnosis. It's called whoops, that's an ad. Hypnosis for deep, restful sleep, love, peace, and joy. This is wonderful, if I say so myself. Just not a lot of people know about the work yet, but please check it out. It's free. I'm not trying to plug it for any reason, but it's such a blessing. You'll sleep so much better at night, and it'll fill your subconscious with peace and love and joy. Like, who wouldn't want that? So, and again, it's free. Okay. We should be done sharing that. I'm going to finish the PowerPoint very quickly. And then we're going to, how do I get that back on? There we go. Okay, new technology. Fixation we covered. Next, distraction. So we're going to distract you from what, and so now I'm distracted using technology. So we're almost ready for meditation. When we're hypnotizing someone, we want to distract them from everything else. I don't want you focusing on the laundry or your cell phone. You don't want to be on Facebook right now. Or if you're on Facebook, keep watching the video. But you don't want to be multitasking. When you're distracted, when I say focus on my eye, I'm not just capturing your attention. I'm pulling your attention away from everything else. So it's good to, if you're doing this as a recording tonight, or if you're just somehow on headphones, use headphones. Headphones really can get the speaker's voice in your head. And I'll take you so deep in this meditation that I will literally just be the voice in your soul, in your consciousness. I promise to only say good things. And if I say something you don't like, you can just reject the suggestion. But you want to be distracted from everything else, meaning you're focused only really in one thing, which is essentially the messages that I'm delivering to you for your greatest good. And I promise that really only for your greatest good. And take what you like, leave what you don't, because maybe I said something and you're like, oh, I don't like that. You can reject a suggestion. But if 99% of the suggestions are good, you're better off just playing along. So headphones can help to distract you from anything else. I use Bose noise canceling headphones. The new earbuds are phenomenal. It's worth $300, or they're over the ear headphones. Again, like $350, but totally worth it. They cancel all the noise. And then there's hypnotic adjuncts we can use. And a lot of my recordings, the ones I just mentioned to you, I use binaural beats, isochronic tones, and you can use solfeggio tones. You can find all that on YouTube. Binaural beats, isochronic tones, solfeggio tones. If you don't know about those yet for altering your state, then Google that. It's really good technology. And I use that in the background of my client sessions all the time. Repetition, before we go into it. When you're doing an induction, there's always some kind of repetition. Sleep, sleep, or go deeper, relax, relax. Repetition works. So when you're, but not just for inducing hypnosis, when you're in hypnosis tonight, if I feel inspired and remember to, I'll ask you to repeat things in your mind, like, I'm now becoming more happy, healthy, thin, and wealthy. I might not use that one, but if you repeat that 3 times, or whatever you're going to repeat, I make money. I make large amounts of money. I create great wealth. Saying it once opens you to the idea. Saying it again kind of makes you be like, oh yeah. And the 3rd time usually helps to solidify it, but repeating it 100 times, not a bad idea either. So repetition and induction and repetition of powerful suggestions is important. Those of you who like thinking about neuroscience and brain plasticity, you got all these neurons and they all link together and whatnot, and they are forming these neural pathways, right? You're programmed. You're really hardwired to be a certain way right now. Very few minds are liberated where those neurons are just free to reconnect at every moment. Like most people are very tightly wound up in a certain program. But the more you loosen that up, which we'll do tonight, we'll imagine loosening up the brain, loosening up your mind so you can let new positive thoughts get in there. We want to repeat those thoughts and just keep letting it become part of your reality. So you literally brainwash yourself. So is hypnosis brainwashing? Not according to these negative definitions, but cleaning up your brain. Sure, I'll brainwash you tonight. I will help you to clean up your mind. I'll help you to let go of what doesn't serve you. Forgive it, forget it, let it go. Forgive, forget, let go. 3rd time's a charm. Forgive, forget, let go, and move on. Forgive, forget, and move on. When you keep repeating really good ideas, your whole being will only be good ideas. If you're not programming yourself with hypnosis every day, you're running a default mode. If you're suffering, you're programmed to suffer. If you have pain, you're programmed to have pain. You don't have to have pain. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to have lack. You don't have to be miserable. But you're programmed to be. You're not a victim. At any moment, you could start reprogramming your mind with all the recordings that I'm making available online and whatnot. I just want to give it all away because why not? We're all going to it's not going good for humanity. So I just encouraging everybody, just give who you are away to the world and let's heal the world together. And I'm going to say that again, repetition. Next one, proper suggestion delivery. Simply stated, when you're doing hypnosis speak, always speak in the positive. Very rare do you want to use a negative word or like you're not angry anymore. I might mention the word anger in a programming session, but it's in the midst of 99% positive stuff. Like you're now letting go of anger, but you're choosing love and peace and joy and forgiveness and kindness and compassion, right? So fill them with positive things. Make things incremental when you're giving suggestions. Don't just say you're a millionaire. Don't just say your ideal body weight. The subconscious, or really it's the conscious mind, will reject that stuff. If you just give people affirmations, right? You're now thin. Well, if you're not thin, you're going to reject it. If I say you're now a non-smoker, but you're a smoker, you know it's not true. So you can't lie to yourself. It doesn't work when you tell yourself, you're now a millionaire, and you paste $100 bills on your wall. Wealthy people don't get wealthy just by putting $100 bills on their wall and saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Sorry, guys, but it doesn't really work. It's kindergarten level how to use your mind. If you want to have a dream board, awesome. That's the visual part of it. But you need to have it incremental so that more wealth, less, usually it's more money and less weight, right? So more wealth, less body weight, more love, less fear. If you use words like more or less properly, it won't cause the critical part of the conscious mind to reject suggestions. So state things in the positive and make them incremental and make them believable. Here's a little tip. When you're hypnotizing somebody, don't tell them they're somewhere that they're not. So for instance, if I say to you right now, and you're 100% relaxed, well, maybe you're not. So you're going to reject the suggestion. I hear this mistake all the time in basic YouTube hypnosis videos when, listen to some graduate, not our graduates, but, listen to people doing hypnosis online. They're like, close your eyes. You're completely relaxed. Why closing my eyes? Why just closing my eyes make me completely relaxed? That's not understanding the hypnotic ritual. You have to pace and lead people into hypnosis. You can't just tell them they're at the deepest state when they're not. It's not just that I said it, that it becomes true. I have to use this whole ritual to get you where you want to be, not where I want you to be, although we have the same goals. I want you to be happy. But really, I'm supporting you in your goals. And tonight's meditation will only be dedicated to your goals. I won't be trying to manipulate you to do anything but to be your very best self. Okay, so proper delivery of suggestions, trance words. There are lots of words that work well in this work. So here's a few examples. Easy, right? Let's make it easy. Duh, right? Automatic. Why do you have to use pain management techniques every day to control your headaches? Why not just make your subconscious automatically make you comfortable? But the truth is, don't use hypnosis to mask symptoms like that. A headache most likely has underlying causes, physical, mental, or emotional, right? And we can use hypnosis usually to resolve the underlying root cause, which is quite often mental and emotional, but you don't want to just mask the symptom. So that's just a little disclaimer there. But the idea that you can make your subconscious do things automatically, like automatically get up at 7 in the morning and meditate or exercise, you can put that in. So it can be easy, it can be automatic, and it can be virtually effortless. So a little bit of effort, but we call that like the law of least efforts, or in Tai Chi speak, we talk about moving 2,000 pounds with 4 ounces of force. So I'm a Tai Chi practitioner. You come into me, I yield you away. I remain very soft, and you just smack yourself into the wall, right? So if you learn the principles of Wu Wei from Taoism, you'll understand more about this harmony and this dance rather than using force. So there are maternal, powerful, forceful induction styles. They don't work as well online. And now that we do a lot of hypnosis on Zoom, we tend to use the more maternal styles, which I think a lot of people like more anyway. So hypnosis is evolving because of COVID, where we just tend to use more maternal online styles. And they're working great. Okay, trance words, hypnotic adjuncts we talked about. Binaural beats, headphones, voice modulation. There's lots of stuff out there. But let's go into the meditation. So let's put that on the screen for you and invite you to get comfortable. This might go for 20, 30 minutes. For those of you who have had enough, I understand, but this will be on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn for you to go back and listen to this meditation anytime you want to. So I invite you to close your eyes for now. Breathe and set the intention of this hypnosis session for you to live your very best life, for you to activate your mind power and to tap into the infinite organizing power within you, to easily and effortlessly pull whatever you want into your life. Let's set the intention to liberate your mind, to free your creativity and your imagination, to create a life truly worth living. This is an invitation that the rest of your life on this planet is going to be awesome to the best of your ability. Let's go through a very simple induction, yet we'll talk it out a little as we go. You can allow your eyes to open and roll your eyes up high and go ahead and focus on one spot on the ceiling. Now, a lot of you have already done this, but that's good because you're conditioned. I don't need to be creative here. Focus on one spot. With your eyes rolled up, imagine your eyelids get heavy. Keep staring at this one spot right here now as if nothing else matters. Let go of the past. Gather your attention here. Just that one spot. You focusing on this spot is the difference between you succeeding in life or not. It's that important. Focus on that one spot. And release the future. Make that one spot so important because you want all your attention dedicated to this process. Take a big breath in, filling your lungs fully and completely. As you exhale, tell yourself, relax, physically and mentally. Again, breathe in, fill your lungs, gather your attention at that one spot. Inhale, inhale deeper, inhale, inhale, hold. All your attention here now on the spot. Exhale, think, relax. Soften your body, focus on that spot, and one more time, breathe in deeply. All of your attention on that spot, as if you've mastered the control of your mind. Exhale, think, relax, and then breathe normally. I'll count from 5 to 1, and if you'd like to be your own inner hypnotist, you can repeat the words and numbers that I'm saying out loud. Repeat them silently in your mind so that your mind is 100% part of this experience. 5, right here now. 4, I'm only focused on that spot. 3, there's nothing else to do. On number 2, breathe in again, filling the lungs. On number 1, exhale. Let your eyes close down and just let something else relax. Soften your eyelids. Soften your arms and shoulders. Just scan your body and practice relaxing your body. You're going to be going very deep. I encourage you to stay conscious. You're not here to go to sleep. I encourage you to make my voice the object of your fixation now. And simply do what I suggest, because that's how hypnosis works. Be responsive to what I say. To show you how responsive you already are, notice your eyelids getting heavy. Just notice it. Your eyelids get heavy now. It's like automatically you're just watching them get heavy. Imagine noticing your eyelids are sealing down closed. You can pretend that, right? You can imagine. You can pretend that your eyelids are so heavy as if they just don't want to open. Now just go ahead and pretend. Use your imagination, not your intellect. Use your imagination and pretend that you try to open your eyes, but find they just don't want to work. When you're done pretending, then stop trying. Relax your eyelids even more and send the heavy feelings of relaxation down through your whole body. Soften something else, your jaw or your tongue. Now, as you're going deeper into yourself, it's my job to direct your attention where we want it to go. So let's go somewhere. Imagine that you find yourself in my favorite place is mountains. So let's go to the mountains. You're using your imagination, which takes you away from the physical world and into that wonderful inner world of creativity. Find yourself in a valley. See the mountains towering around you. How high are they? Are they snow-capped? Are there trees? Is there a tree line where the mountains go above, where the trees can't even grow anymore? Where's the position of the sun? Do you see the moon, even though it's daylight? What time of day is it? Yeah, let it be daylight. And you're standing in this field. Get a sense of how you're dressed. You could see yourself there if you were to observe, or you could be fully in your body looking down at your feet, what you're wearing in your legs or in your torso. What color is your clothing? It's up to you. See yourself better than you've been seeing yourself. See yourself healthier, stronger, more flexible, more fit, more vibrant. See yourself light in your stride as you start to walk amongst the grasses. There's a little stream. There's beautiful flowers. Oranges and reds. It gets more colorful now. Blue sky, green grass, yellow sun. Green clovers, blue diamonds. Just start to see what's around you. Maybe there's a little footbridge over that little creek. Notice the trail is moving you towards the foothills of the mountains, into the forests. Notice rocks, maybe even little crystals scattered on the trail, like I saw in Arkansas once. They're really there. It's all over the ground, little crystals. Plants, the sounds of birds and squirrels, the moss and the rocks, the little subtleties of water. There's a little waterfall. You keep climbing up higher, feeling strong in your legs. And somewhere on the top of this mountain, and you may have been here before with me, we find a little meditation hut. Perhaps you're alone. Perhaps there's others. Perhaps I'm there guiding you, or it's just you, and my voice goes with you. Or perhaps you imagine sitting with a community of everybody listening to this meditation. But you're sitting there in meditation now. How is your body positioned? Maybe you're lying down. Maybe you choose to sit in some form of lotus, or just on a chair or a recliner. Doesn't matter. Just position your body in your mind's eye so you're comfortable in a sacred space. And imagine there in that space your body starts to dissolve. Your head relaxes so much it starts fading from your awareness. You're still there, but it's as if your head is relaxing, dissolving, hollow, empty, clear, translucent, until you don't know where the air begins, where the atoms that make up your body begin, the atoms of air, the atoms of skin. It just all becomes atoms. Space, consciousness in your neck and throat, dissolving, empty, color fading, form fading. It's okay, you're safe because you're still conscious. You're just imagining that your arms become hollow and empty, as if looking from the inside out. It's just a bunch of atoms. It's empty. Imagine your arms dissolve, meaning you're forgetting about them. Your body relaxing so much. Your torso, your chest. It's so comfortable, more and more comfortable, that you can forget about it. Your rib cage and your belly and your back, so soft, hollow, empty, clear. It's okay. You're so safe to just sit here and be. Legs, hips, buttocks dissolving away. And yet, where are you? Go to your heart, the very center of your being, the heart of your heart. Or maybe you're kind of up there in your head. Where's your consciousness if you're not a body? Are you big or small? Now let's go to your mind. We want to relax and dissolve the idea of your body. And we want to relax and dissolve the idea that you need to think all the time. Right now, before I count from 10 to 1 and take you deeper, I encourage you to tell yourself, I don't want to think. Give yourself a break from all that thinking. Just listen. You don't have to talk at me or talk about something else. Just listen. And engage yourself. Stay conscious. You can repeat the words I say to be 100% a participant here. Think in your mind. 10. More. Relax. More relaxed. More relaxed. Go deeper into your own consciousness. Not your body and not your mind. You're aware that you're aware. And number 9. Be present that you're aware. Aware that you're present. 8. It's always here now. Quiet. Empty. Still. I don't want to think. I just want to be. 7. Deeper. Into the pure potential of your own awareness. Deeper. There's no depth to trance. There's no limit to the depth of trance. Go deeper. Feel how good it feels. Trust your joy. Follow the bliss. Find what feels good and go there. Deeper. And 6. Find where it feels good inside. It's peaceful. It's quiet. It's wonderful. 5. Down. Or maybe up. But just go deeper. Choose, find that direction and go deeper. Deeper. And 4. Stay conscious. Be empowered to use your mind in a moment, so stay conscious. And 3. Body relaxed. Forgotten. Mind relaxed and forgotten, but you're super aware. You're in here. And 2. And deeper. And deeper. On number 1. Imagine being blank and empty. Grow empty and blank. I don't want to think. Just be quiet. Let my voice hold you in a meditative state. Just be conscious. Just relax. Let my voice become the voice in your mind, as if these are your thoughts. Trusting you'll only hear good things. Imagine this is your mind, your own very self, telling you you're perfect just as you are. You, in your essence, right here in this space, are perfect, whole, and complete. You are perfect, whole, and complete. There's nothing lacking here. You are perfect, whole, and complete. Now you can repeat that in your mind. Let your thoughts be good thoughts. I am perfect, whole, and complete. Maybe you are, so think it again. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And then one more time to make yourself believe it, but experience it, validate it for yourself. I am perfect, whole, and complete. We're not talking about your body. We're not even talking about your mind. We're just letting your mind affirm the truth of who you really are. What else about you? You are peace. You are love. You are joy. You are bliss. Welcome in the part we call your inner child. You're lovable. You're beautiful. You're likable. You're creative and playful. You're funny and have fun. Wouldn't you want your own mind to think these kind of thoughts? Practice it now. I'm likable. I'm lovable. I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent. I'm wise. I'm responsible in a healthy way. I'm creative. Now, choosing to be spiritually aware, whatever that means to you. Aware that you're conscious. Aware that your consciousness is very peaceful and very wonderful. Mentally healthy. Your mind, intelligent, excellent memory, creative, spontaneous yet consistent, decisive. Now, your heart and welcoming that inner child again, your emotional self. It's okay to feel sad or hurt, scared or angry. It's also okay to let those emotions go and to breathe and let your heart open to more love. Self-love. Perhaps you'll think in your mind, I love myself. I love who I am. I love myself. I love others. I really choose to love right now. And what if in your heart, right now, only love? Only love. Only love. And then welcoming in your physical body. I choose to be ever more healthy. Just think the thought, make it so. I choose to be ever more healthy. I choose to be ever more healthy. I choose to eat healthy and exercise regularly. I choose to eat healthy and exercise regularly. I choose to eat healthy and exercise regularly. I eat the right foods, the right amount, at the right time. I eat the right foods, at the right amount, at the right time. I eat the right foods, the right amounts, and the right time. Why? Because you're wise enough to think the right thoughts. Now you welcome in the career and financial category of your life. It's up to you what you say here, but here's some good ideas. I choose to be financially free. I choose to be financially free. I choose to be financially free. I joyfully welcome more abundance into my life. I joyfully welcome more abundance into my life. I joyfully welcome more abundance into my life. Now, in relationship to your financial and career success, you might think this thought. I have a purpose. I have a mission that I would fulfill in this lifetime. I have a purpose and a mission that I fulfill in this lifetime. I have a purpose and a mission that I fulfill in this lifetime. As I give, I receive. As I give, I receive. As I give, I receive. I give 10 units away, $10 or 10 units of energy, whatever you give away, it comes back to me tenfold. I give away 10, 100 comes back. I give away 100, 1,000 comes back. Notice exponential growth in your prosperity consciousness. I help 10 people, 100 people are healed. I spend $10, I make 100. I give 10 away, 100 comes back. And you can add zeros if you want. I choose only loving and harmonious relationships. I choose only loving and harmonious relationships. All of my relationships are becoming ever more loving and harmonious. I have the right to strive for self-actualization. I have the right to be myself. I have the right to think my own thoughts. I choose what I think. I choose what I feel. And I choose the life that I would live, welcoming in all the people, friends, family, whoever you imagine, in a space of love and goodness. And then start to imagine your ideal home, or improve where you're at. But start to welcome the imagery now. We're still at the top of the mountain, still at the core of our being. But start to imagine this idea of you, spiritually fulfilled, mentally, emotionally fulfilled, physically healthy and wonderful, with plenty of money, with a great career and a great life path wherever you're at with that, and a wonderful home. And what home really means, right? The people there, the things there, the space you get to enjoy every day. Welcome in vehicles. Not where you were at, not where you're at now. Don't focus on what you have now. That's the result of your past thinking. What you have now is the result of past thinking. Focus on where you want to go. Put your attention on where you want to go. I see a wonderful home. I see wonderful vehicles. I see wonderful people. Make it visual. I see exercise and impeccable nutrition. I see clear, healthy skin and a radiant being. See yourself this way. It's you. You're prioritizing yourself. And see free time. See recreation. See activities that you love. See yourself enjoying this planet while it's still inhabitable. Really, you're only here for a little while. So imagine doing things that you love. And being well educated. See yourself taking time to study books, to take internet courses, to do what you do, to get your mind filled with good stuff. Learn the best things. See yourself learning the best things. Study the best of everything. Just study the best things you can imagine and fill your mind with good stuff. Now, as you're starting to see a life that looks really wonderful, welcome in the positive emotion that goes with it. Trust your joy. Follow your bliss. Add positive emotion. Get motivated. Get excited. Get passionate. Be persistent. Be determined. And just love what you can do with your own being now. You've been seeing it, feeling it, and thinking it. Now just repeat in your mind. I totally believe that all of this is possible. I totally believe that all of this is possible. I totally believe that all of this goodness is possible for me. I want this. I want a fully satisfactory, healthy, self-actualized life. I want a self-actualized life. I am willing to accept this and all of the responsibility that goes with it. I am willing to accept this and all of the responsibility that goes with it. I am willing to accept this gift of grace and blessings in my life. Now, repeat this powerful statement in your mind. I expect this. I know this is happening. It is inevitable. I expect this. I know this is happening. It is inevitable. Only goodness. It can only benefit you. I expect this goodness in my life. I know success is coming my way. Evermore. It's inevitable. Now, repeat in your mind, I am committed to this. I do what I need to do to make this happen. If you do all these steps, you will succeed. I am committed to this. I do what I need to do to make this happen. I am committed to this. I do what I need to do to make this happen. Now just let it go, like poof. Let the ideas float away like balloons or bubbles. Just let it all go. Loosen your brain, loosen your mind, your brain, your being will synthesize these ideas. It will turn all of this into a better reality than you could ever imagine. So let higher power, let go, let God, whatever you do now, give it to Spirit, let it go. Just surrender. You go into the core of your being, the powerhouse of your creativity, this inner workshop. Spend 10, 20 minutes a day or more doing this. Eventually you do this all the time. Just learn to think this way for minutes and then hours a day. Train your mind to always think the right thoughts, to see the right things, to feel the right feelings, to promote health in your body and wealth in your life. Now, imagine you find yourself back in that sacred meditation structure on the top of the mountain. You start to sense your body again there, maybe a little bit here. You have hands and feet. You got this body. Fingers and toes, wiggle your arms and legs, fingers and toes, and from the sacred structure on the top of the mountain, sense your body right here now. You've always really just been here. So breathe into your belly, breathe into your heart. Be here now. Slowly transition awareness back to your body, like your hand slipping back into a glove. Slip into your arms and legs. Your body's a vehicle, a communication device. And you're going to use it wisely now. Take good care of it. It's the temple of you. And it's there for you to do your mission and fulfill your purpose. So as you're coming back down from the top of the mountain, breathing below your navel, breathing into your heart, integrating into your body, I'll be counting from 1 to 5 to bring you back to your full and regular waking consciousness. Remember, you can reject any suggestions you want. You can choose to accept every suggestion. I encourage you to remember this entire session. You remember everything that happened here. You're fully aware of everything we did. You can return to the state anytime you wish. You can revisit this meditation on YouTube anytime you wish. The more you repeat this, the more powerful it is. And remember, the more you share, the more you give away, the more it comes back to you. If you want something, give it away. Share it with others. I'll be counting from 1 to 5. When I get to 5, you'll be fully back here now, wide awake, more excited, more motivated, more excited about what you'll make tomorrow, making every day an awesome day. 1, you're coming back right here now, more empowered than ever before. 2, starting to breathe and move and stretch as if you're waking up from a wonderful rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how much different it is. Something has changed. Something is not as it was. When you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, more motivated than ever before to take massive action, to do really good things in a world that really needs us to do really good, outrageous things. All right, everyone, welcome back. If there's any questions, I'm more than happy to entertain them. I don't mind going past the 2-hour mark. You guys can click off anytime you want to. So if there's questions, go ahead, put them into the chat pod if you like, and if not, we'll be wrapping it up very soon. So I'll just give you a minute here for question and answer to fill the chat pod. We are instituteofhypnotherapy.com, and you see the phone number there. We are currently enrolling for an April class that there's still seats for. So those of you who are interested, we generally have classes start January, April, June, and September. So if you miss April, just give us a call. We'll talk to you about how you can get started right away. And then eventually you plug in with a class on a start date. We have NLP trainings. We have conferences. We have plenty of books and workshops. I have a workshop coming up on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali on advanced life mastery work, and a course in miracles. There are workshops online. If you can't make them live, they'll be there as recordings. They count as CEUs for continuing education, and I can't recommend them enough. So it's all on instituteofhypnotherapy.com. All right, thank you, everyone. Someone said, what if one falls asleep during? Okay, good question. All right, so it doesn't benefit you that much. It's kind of restful, but if you didn't hear what I was saying, then you really don't get the benefit. I know others will tell you otherwise, but I'm telling you, there's like studies done that you can't just like talk to your kid when he's sleeping and just say, you are now going to, and they just don't wake up and change, right? So hypnosis is not sleep. So if you fall asleep, it doesn't benefit you as much, but there's ways to not fall asleep. And what do you do if you did? So the best thing about modern technology is you can repeat the recording anytime you want to. So just go back and listen to this recording again. The moment I stop this class, it'll be posted on YouTube, and you can go and listen to that last half hour. If you like the meditation, you think it's beneficial, repeat it every day. I recommend you repeat this kind of programming for 60 to 90 days for any one topic. But this is about success in every aspect of your life. So listen a lot. So you might fall asleep sometimes. Sometimes you'll be wide awake. Sometimes your mind was wandering. Repetition of hypnotic programming is crucial. I've been doing it every day for about 30 years now, at least 25 years. And I'm telling you, it works. So just keep repeating it, even if you fall asleep. But now what do you do to not fall asleep? Sit upright. Sit in a chair like this, an office chair. So there's my recliner. I spend at least 2 hours a day in that recliner doing hypnotic programming. Over there is a meditation cushion on the floor, and I'll spend quite a few hours on the meditation cushion. So one of the ways to stay awake in these altered states is to actually learn how to sit meditation. You can't fall asleep while you're sitting on a meditation cushion in some type of cross-legged position. And if you can't do that, then sit in a straight back chair. Hypnosis and meditation, there's differences, but there's similarities. But a difference in meditation is you learn to stay very conscious and focused. You practice breathing or counting your breaths, right? So you can stay very precise. I don't fall asleep in that recliner when I'm super deep because of the intense concentrated power that's come from meditation. So when people relax, they just tend to fall asleep because they haven't trained themselves to stay awake. That's where meditation really comes in. So if you want to go deeper with free teachings on that, onlinemonastery.com. Those teachings will definitely teach you how to stay awake in very deep altered states. Other tips that could help if you're really serious about staying awake is actually caffeinate yourself a little, right? Eat some chocolate, whatever. I'm not telling you to eat junk food or anything, but some caffeine, some green tea, or even coffee. I have a cup of chai a day. I eat impeccably well. And it's still okay to have, most sources are like, it's okay to have like 1 cup of coffee or 1 cup of tea. So I do 1 cup of chai a day, and do that and then go sit meditation. Or if you don't need it, then great, don't. But caffeine actually can help you stay awake. Just don't overdo it, right? Turn the lights on in the room. If it's really dark, you might fall asleep, but make it really bright in the room. And then you can turn up the volume on hypnotic programming recordings, right? So it dominates your mind, right? So let my voice be louder than the voice in your head, and that can help you to stay awake too. But usually sitting upright with the lights on almost always does it. You just have to train yourself to be in a state of profound physical relaxation, profound mental relaxation, yet still stay fully conscious. And it's hard. It really takes time. In yogic practice, you slip into what's called yoga nidra, or yogic sleep. Like at the end of a yoga class, you're so relaxed. Then you come out of it and you're like, wow, I wasn't asleep, but I wasn't really there. That's like hypnosis. But in hypnosis, it can be pretty easy to just go totally into sleep. You really don't want to do that if you want to get the benefit. So yogis learn to move beyond yoga nidra into the more advanced meditative states by intense, concentrated power developed through meditation, really. So meditation will help. Sitting upright will help. Turning on the lights will help. A little bit of caffeine. In monasteries, they're drinking caffeine, because if you want to meditate for 12 hours a day on the divine, a cup of coffee might help you. And it's not that bad. So, because staying conscious is so important, I can't recommend something safe to do enough. All right, thank you. Good question. Great. Someone said, looking forward to the April class. Good. Can't wait to have you there. Okay, one other question. Can falling asleep during meditation be blocking, as in breath work? Yes, sure. So in breath work, essentially what you're doing is hyperoxygenating the body. You're doing certain techniques that put a lot of energy in your body. And it'll usually force your negative stuff, your blockages. Like if you're not feeling all the good stuff I'm talking about and living that, then you're blocked. And breath work can help to clear the blocks. We teach it in the school. But what will often happen when the intense negativity that we hold inside comes up, right? Like if you keep in your heart fear, sadness, anger, repressed memories, painful childhood memories, like memories of sexual abuse, not to get into the heavy stuff right now, but people hold tremendous pain in their heart. And I'm not oblivious to that, even though I talk about what it could be like when you're free. Most people have that in their heart. So when you start bringing it up with hypnosis, or especially with breath work, a tendency to avoid it is to go unconscious, to lock up your body. A lot of you know about that phenomena where the body literally locks up, and you stop breathing, and then you're just gone. It's a defense mechanism to check out from too much pain that usually developed in childhood. To reverse that usually requires really good hypnotherapy, honestly. I know how to do it for sure. A lot of our graduates absolutely can do it. To get that defensive protective layer to stop doing that. So could that happen with hypnosis? Because if I'm telling you, you can be really wealthy. Or what if when I said you're beautiful, what if that brought up all these memories of shame and you didn't want to deal with it? You don't think you're beautiful. What if you believe you're ugly? And I told you you're beautiful. That conflict you might not want to look at. You don't want to look at how ugly or hateful you think you are. None of this is true, but people believe they're disgusting. How many people here listening believe you're dirty and disgusting? Please get over it. You're divine, you're pure, you're free, you're forever, you're innocent, you're guiltless. But you don't believe that. But when I tell you you're innocent and guiltless, it triggers the part of you who feels guilty. One mechanism to not feel that is to go to sleep, right? In the Course in Miracles, it teaches in one aspect of it, there's something the mind, when the mind doesn't really like something, it doesn't know what to do with it, it can't reconcile it, it just puts it out of conscious awareness. But we know that in hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, we understand. We can suppress and repress. We can push things out of awareness. If you do that too much, it makes you unconscious, and you'll be falling asleep all the time because that's your only out. In yogic philosophy, there's 4 states of mind: waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state, right? Waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. That's all most people know. There's a 4th state. The yogis call it samadhi, or deep meditation, but it's usually associated with bliss and ecstasy. You can be fully conscious, and I'm telling you, because I talked a little bit about the sexual energy that you can bring into deep meditation, you can be in the most exquisite pleasure inside of your being for hours a day, where it's just so orgasmic and wonderful inside, you don't even want to open your physical eyes. You don't want to be asleep to that. My inner world is not anymore, after all these years of doing this, a world of unconsciousness. It's a world of light and bliss and love and joy and creativity, and I'm not afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of about looking inside yourself. Darkness can't hide. So breath work will bring the darkness up so we can clear it. Hypnotic regressions will bring the darkness up so we can clear it. We have a lot of techniques to clear the blocks in your heart. There's a book we recommend in the school called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, and I highly recommend reading it. It's one of our required readings for the school, by Debbie Ford, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, because all of you guys who are spiritual and want to be more spiritual tend to avoid your pain. We have a model in hypnosis that's so powerful. The only way to superconscious mind, or higher self, if you will, the only way to your oversoul or your soul or your higher self, whatever you want to call it, but we say in hypnosis, the only way to superconscious mind is through subconscious mind. The only way out is through. You can't just transcend your negativity or shut off and close down to the stuff you don't like inside of you. In Buddhist practice, there's a major movement of going right into your heart and just dealing with what's there. Right? A lot of yogic practices or other spiritual paths, we try to transcend the stuff. And people just naturally want to fall asleep to the stuff. But to me, one major powerful spiritual approach, and I mean spiritual like the deepest wisdom traditions of how to get free, say go into it. Consciously look at your inner child, look at your pain, and discover it's all just a fiction from the past. But yeah, we do fall asleep to try to avoid it. So with hypnotherapy, we have all the skill sets in the school. I'm convinced again, I didn't choose a psychology path. I chose hypnotherapy because of my background. And I'm telling you, this is a path to complete liberation, complete freedom from suffering. I'm convinced of it now. So yeah, you don't want to fall asleep to that path. Remember, the only role of a teacher, a true teacher, is to create motivation. Your mind will do the rest. So I'm just being kind of like a cheerleader, role model for what it means to be more and more free in your life. And you won't fall asleep if you really want it, right? So the motivation is a huge thing that keeps you awake. All right, great. Thank you for asking that question. Awesome. And then somebody mentioned yoga breath of fire. Yeah, just in closing, that's a pranayama technique from yogic practice. It's great, very familiar with it. In breath work, what we do is something like almost all of breath work as we see it in like 12 plus different systems. It really comes from the pranayama of India by Leonard Orr, who founded rebirthing. That's what I'm trained in. So Leonard Orr went to India, discovered rebirthing. They started doing a certain kind of breathing. And there's different ways to do it. But generally, you do a certain type of breathing and your stuff is going to come up. And it's a chance to clear your stuff. Breath of fire, the yogic technique, doesn't really do that. It's not designed for that. But rebirthing or holotropic breathing or integrated breath work, stuff that we teach in the school, in our own unique way, will bring whatever's blocked in you to consciousness and give you the chance to heal it. Just bring it to consciousness alone isn't enough. You need skill sets to heal what you bring up. And if you're doing breath work without skill sets to heal what comes up, you're actually being kind of irresponsible. I'm not talking to any one person here, but really learn how to facilitate what comes up. And hypnotherapy, in the way we teach it, absolutely can do that. We're always working within the law, always working within the scope of our credentials, but we're not diminishing how powerful and effective we really are. We're not going to claim to treat psychiatric conditions that we're not qualified to, but you bring me a person who's able, I will help them to be more able by clearing their blocks and helping them to thrive. So awesome. Okay, good. Bill, you were there. So sorry, I didn't mean to mention anybody's name tonight, but breathwork and practicals was amazing. Good to hear. Awesome. Okay, yeah, we had a wild ride recently with breathwork in one of our locations, so super powerful stuff. All right, great. In closing, someone said, thank you for the explanation. Definitely supports what I intuitively know about my personal experiences. Time for more hypnotherapy. Amen to that. All right, I'm going to close it down. Thank you, everybody. We'll be here every week next week. I think next week is combining interpersonal hypnotherapy with Anahat meditation, so we can go deeper into those jewels that we have to offer here. But yeah, be in our newsletter if you're not already, and then definitely like and subscribe for YouTube and share this and all that stuff to spread the word. So thank you, everybody. Grateful to be here with you and wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you.